Hey everyone, Robert here, author of Expansion Mastery, the practical guide to living a fully engaged life. Are you ready to embrace life? Are you ready and willing to transform yourself and your life from ordinary to extraordinary? Are you prepared to participate in this year of unity, the year of human harmony? Welcome, my friends, to the Fully Engaged Life. Welcome back to the show, everyone, and welcome once again to the year 2018. Can you believe it? 2018, the year of unity, the year of human harmony. Are you ready? I know I certainly am. In order to kick off the new year correctly, I'm going to be presenting a variety of incredibly powerful practices for you. These will mostly be meditative practices, observational practices, and these are things we're going to use to make dramatic and positive changes in our lives. The first several episodes of this year will contain these practices, and then, of course, I'll be sharing more throughout the year. But I want to give you something new and powerful that you can begin working with to kick off this new year, ways that you can create this sense of harmony and unity within yourself, as well as allow that to ripple outward into the world, out into your community, out into your state, out into your country, out into the entire globe. And as usual, I'll be breaking it down for you, putting it into very practical, non-dogmatic terms. What we're going to do is focus on the heart of the practice itself, because that is truly all that really matters. We need to embrace these authentic traditions and authentic practices, but we can do so without subscribing to the dogma. We can do so with respect, the respect that these practices deserve, by getting to the heart of it and attaining real lasting results. What better way to honor a tradition than by upholding the success that its practices offer? The first set of practices I'm going to present in 2018 is known as the Four Skillful Efforts. And what we're referring to here by skillful effort is the ability to apply thought, emotion, word, and action in a way that allows you to transform yourself and your life. Now, this set of four practices is based on the universal law of cause and effect. We've discussed universal laws in previous episodes, so you understand, like the law of attraction is a universal law. The law of vibration is a universal law. The law of cause and effect is also a universal law. And if we reflect upon cause and effect, we can then understand that it is not possible to experience an effect without specific causes, bringing that effect into being, into reality, where we can then experience it. Spirituality relies on two things: seeking out and embracing the positive while guarding against the negative. Notice I said guarding against, not resisting it. We're not going to fight it. We're not going to resist it. We're simply going to protect ourselves from it, from the negative impact, from the low vibration. We're going to learn how to protect ourselves. This is why the term spiritual warrior is so applicable to any spiritual tradition, because as spiritualists, as those of us walking this path of spirituality, seeking ultimate truth, we have to be strong. We have to be able to protect ourselves. And in this case, spiritually speaking, we are going to learn how to protect ourselves against negativity in whatever form it may present itself, as well as seeking out, embracing, and developing positive energy, and then applying that positive energy to our lives in a way that allows us to create, or some would say co-create, a more positive, enjoyable life experience. In the process, we will have to go through a personal transformation, because the truth of the matter in spirituality is we cannot transform our life into something better until we transform ourselves into someone better. Everything emulates outward from our core. So this will be the goal of this practice. We are going to understand how to apply these 4 skillful efforts in a way that allows for personal transformation, as well as the ability to transform our lives and then to help others transform theirs. All of the practices that I present in 2018 will help you focus on this personal transformation for yourself and your life, as well as how we can begin assisting others to experience the same transformation. There are basically 4 types of effort that you can skillfully apply through the mastery of your thoughts, your emotions, your words, and actions that have the power and potential to transform you and your life in amazing ways. When skillfully applied, these 4 efforts should be addressed in the order in which I'm presenting them to you here, because each effort builds upon the energy of its predecessor. When we harness the power of all 4 of these skillful efforts, we begin taking control of our life and no longer allow life to happen to us. This is the first step in learning how to mindfully create our own reality. And I sincerely hope the thought of such a thing excites you as much as it did me when I first heard about these practices and began to go through them some 3 decades ago. We need to understand that it is simply not possible to experience an effect without a very specific cause bringing that effect into reality, into being. Understand how the law of cause and effect works, and you'll grasp the heart of this practice. But understand, it's not enough to listen to this podcast. You must learn how to work with this practice, to engage it, until you develop the ability to skillfully apply it in your everyday life. As with anything real in life, effort is required. That's why these are referred to as skillful efforts. The truth of the matter is this: no effort equals no results. That goes with anything in life. That's just the reality of life. This is the biggest hurdle for most people. They just can't seem to find it within themselves to summon the energy and focus in order to make the necessary effort. This is why spiritual awakening escapes the vast majority of people. But you don't have to be one of those people. You can be one of the few that attains the benefits. You can attain awakening in this lifetime. Effort doesn't always have to imply that it's going to be difficult. It's more centered around the ability to focus on something and address this necessary focus than it is going through something difficult. But we do have to understand and accept the fact that certain spiritual practices are going to be challenging. They're meant to. If they were super easy, then everybody would be awakened, and that would be fantastic. But look around. That is certainly not the case, is it? And from the research I've done, with the legalization of various drugs, marijuana and even worse drugs now, the ability for people to become awakened, to know real spirituality instead of something that is drummed up from a delusion in their chemically altered minds, is going to become even more rare. So I'm providing these practices to you in the hopes that you will carry along the authenticity of these practices and embrace the fact that you don't need any external stimulants. You have everything you need within you right now. That is all you need to succeed. All you need is your own discipline, your own ability to focus on the practice, do what it takes to engage the practice, and you will succeed. And no, that success may not come overnight, but I can't say that it won't. For some things, it will. For other things, it will take longer. We just have to keep working at it until the necessary breakthrough occurs. This is the nature of spiritual practice. Effort is a natural part of living in the physical reality. We must overcome this immature illusion of everything needing to be easier, faster, and free. That those things make it better is a lie. It is an illusion of the worst kind, and it leads to all sorts of illnesses, both physical and mental. Make the declaration for yourself right now to be ready and willing to make whatever effort is necessary in order to succeed at these practices. And you know what? You will. Now remember that listening to this podcast is not enough effort. Hey, just sitting there on your butt listening to something is not enough. I know there's the moans and the groans coming already, right? But that's not real effort. Okay? You need to make the effort to listen to the podcast, pay very close attention, focus on it, and then put what you learn into action on a regular basis. It's really not that difficult to succeed at these practices if you can find it within yourself to put forth a little effort. Just a little effort. That's all that it requires. From my own personal experiences with this type of material, the most effort comes in the form of remaining aware of the practice itself every day. Just remembering it. And I have ways to help you do that. After that, it's really pretty easy, as it tends to take on its own momentum. So, are you ready? Let's do this. Skillful effort number 1. Making the effort to prevent future negativity. Now, remember, these are in a specific order and should not have the sequence disrupted if you hope to attain results. This first practice focuses on attaining the ability to prevent ourselves from causing future negativity that lowers our vibration, closes our heart, creates a sense of greater separation, and attracts more things into our lives. That results in more things to think and feel negatively about. Take a moment to find somewhere to sit quietly and just listen to my voice. And what you're going to do, listen as I talk. You can close your eyes or leave them open. It doesn't really matter. And you're going to contemplate. You're going to reflect for yourself on what I'm saying. You have to take it in and integrate it to your own sense of being. It has to be for you. It has to be yours. I'm going to give you some basic instructions to follow, and I'd like you to just think about what I'm saying, or even visualize it if you're able to do so. You are essentially using this as a meditative observational practice. Okay? First off, begin to reflect upon the ways you could think, feel, speak, and act with the sincere desire of preventing future hardships for yourself. Take a moment and do that. Acknowledge that your hardships are caused from your own negative thoughts, emotions, words, and actions, as well as adverse situations, which you ultimately attract into your life. Future hardships have not yet taken form in reality. However, the vibration you hold today will be creating those situations of tomorrow. So just take a moment and reflect upon all of the negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative words you use, and negative actions you tend to take, and realize how they bring more negativity into your life. And by continuing to do those things, you will continue to bring that negativity into your life. Now, what you want to do is become consciously aware of seeking out potential problems that are likely to be brought into reality by your mindlessness of thought, word, and action. In other words, pay very close attention to the things that you're thinking about. Any negative thoughts will cause a low vibration, and this is the effect that will cause you to experience unfavorable situations in the future. The same goes for your negative emotions, your negative speech, and your negative actions. Understand this as the basics of the universal law of cause and effect. Negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative words, and negative actions are therefore the cause of the effect, which is negativity in our lives and the attraction of more negative life situations. So the question is, how can you prevent bringing into reality new difficulties into your life? By remaining aware of your thoughts, your emotions, your words, and your actions, and no longer allowing them to be negative. This is how. Instead, do your best to keep them focused on the positive. Doing so will raise your vibration and allow positive situations to manifest into your life. And wouldn't that be great if we had more positive, more enjoyable life situations? We had more things to enjoy and really unleash the potential of this grand adventure we call life? Wouldn't that be an amazing transformation to undergo in 2018? And if you think your life is already pretty good, you should know that it can get even better. So allow me to give a personal example of this first practice. When I notice a negative thought or emotion arise, and it's very distinguishable by its low vibration, in other words, it makes you feel bad. Whenever this arises, I stop and prevent myself from speaking it or taking any action. While I take that moment in order to change the negative thoughts and emotions into positive ones, then I proceed with any words or actions. See, the primary effort required is in being aware of the exercise itself. Correcting it is not as difficult as it may seem. It's not difficult at all if I truly desire to make that change. We're all completely capable of it. The change is not hard. It's remaining aware of the practice and catching yourself, being mindful, that allows us to succeed. That's why I spent an entire year or two going over all of these mindfulness practices for you. So now you have that sense of mindfulness, and that's what it takes to remain aware of this. So you've already got the skill set necessary to succeed at these practices, you see? This is all you need to do. The change part is easy. Everybody thinks that the change part is hard. Well, that's just the ego that likes to convince us of that. But it's not true. The change part is easy. All we have to do is make sure that we focus our energy, we focus our intent, we focus on our effort in order to engage the practice. So that is the practice itself, is to sit and reflect upon those things that are causing you future negativity. And those things are perpetuated by your negative thoughts, your negative emotions, your negative words, and your negative actions. So we understand that when we hold something like that and we continue to hold that it sends that vibration out into the universe. And what happens is it creates that life for us, a more negative life, because that's where our vibration is. And whatever vibrational match you are in alignment with is what you will experience in life. And we all see these people who think in a very negative manner all the time and how negative their life is. And for most of them, it never changes. Why? Because they're never able to rise above those negative thoughts. And because they have these negative thoughts, they end up with the negative emotions. And then they say things that are negative, and then they do things that are negative, and they just live this perpetuated state of negativity. The goal of this first practice, then, is to stop any future negativity, to shut down those things that are causing negativity, that will cause it in the future. We can stop it now. What we stop today will prevent these negative and unfavorable life experiences in the near future, as well as many years into the future. So the first phase is to shut down anything that could be coming for us, anything that's going to be attracted to us that is negative. We want to stop it now. And since this is the year of unity and human harmony, let's also explore how we can allow this practice to ripple outward and include the benefit of others. How can we possibly assist others in preventing negativity in their lives? What can we possibly do that would help others to be more positive in the way they think, feel, speak, and act? Well, it's for certain that we can't change anyone. We can't force anybody to change, and we can't do it for them. However, one thing I do is to make sure to have unexpected positive interactions with other people. Allow me to give you another personal example. This holiday season, my wife and I purchased a few dozen holiday flower bouquets, and we hand-delivered them to all of our neighbors. This was a positive act. Now, along with that, we expressed our appreciation to them for being such great neighbors. Everybody around us is wonderful. They're respectful, they're quiet, they're clean. Everybody is great. So we expressed our appreciation to them. Now, that is positive speech. And when we did this, we held our hearts open through holding this sense of honest appreciation for them. It wasn't fake. We truly feel this way. And that caused them to feel appreciative of our actions. And it was a mutual appreciation that started to happen. This is the emotional side. And that caused more positive thoughts to be expressed from them to us and from ourselves to them. And we had this incredible interaction with all of our neighbors. And hopefully we made their holiday a little brighter, a little happier, because they received this gift. Every one of them seemed stunned at first, but also very happy, very pleased, and extremely appreciative. In this way, we helped them to have good, positive thoughts, positive emotions, positive conversation, and positive actions. Some of them gave us hugs. That's positive action. Even if this whole exchange only lasted a matter of moments, just that one day, if all goes according to plan, they should have those positive, high vibration thoughts and feelings arise every time they looked at those flowers over the holidays. Whether they realized it or not, hopefully it invoked that kind of unconscious response in them. And because someone did a kind act to them and shared kind words with them and shared an honest conversation of appreciation with them so that it made them feel good, they'll want to share that with other people. That's the desire, is that they will then want that for themselves, and they will want to share that with other people as well. And we know that happened because some of the people actually came out once they went back in their home, and we were already on to the next neighbor, came out and started to talk to us at that other neighbor's house, just to express how much they appreciated it and how incredible it was, because nobody ever gets to know their neighbors anymore. No one ever talks anymore. No one acknowledges anyone's existence anymore. See, this is how you allow it to ripple out from yourself into your community. And then we did the same type of thing with increasing the amount of tips when we went out. One evening before the holiday, we gave a very, very generous holiday tip and expressed our appreciation to the server that we had. They did a fantastic job. We sat and we visited with them for a moment, shared our appreciation, and then we showed our appreciation through the action of giving a large tip. And you know if you're doing it right. You know if you're succeeding because it makes you feel good too. So I have to ask you, this is the practice. That's it. That's what it is. And I've given you 2 different examples of how I apply this to myself as well as how I apply it in order to assist others. Doesn't seem that difficult, does it? It's not that difficult to take action. But for most of us, there's something that holds us back. And I know because I used to experience this too. I would want to do something nice for somebody, but then when it came time to actually follow through, I just failed to do it. What was holding me back? What was preventing me from following through and making the effort necessary to manifest this into reality? Most of the time, I found that it was a state of laziness. Hey, remember those things that I covered at the end of the year, the 5 things that prevent us from awakening? Laziness was one of them, wasn't it? Another was the ego. The ego just didn't want to have to do that, to express appreciation and share a little bit of love with other people. The ego doesn't want to do that because it feels vulnerable. And this is part of the ignorance of mind. So we can see that those 5 things I gave you back at the end of December, I think the Christmas show, contained some of the things that prevent us from doing the things we're discussing here in this practice. So today's practice was just number 1. There are 3 more in this set of the 4 skillful efforts. So I hope you'll take this one and start to work with it. Apply it to your life. And then in the next episode, I'll continue with the rest of these and we'll go through all 4. Remember, all 4 are a set and they should be performed in sequential order in order to secure your success. I've been having students and clients also asking the question of what is the difference between a meditative practice and meditation, because they've asked other gurus and other people what meditation is, and they can't seem to get a clear answer. I'm giving you a clear answer. I've given the clear answer. I'm demonstrating with clarity the difference between these things. What you are engaged in here, this is a practice. This is not meditation that we're doing here, right? These 4 skillful efforts, even though we are reflecting on them, we're thinking about them. We're remembering what things feel like and so on. These are not meditations. Meditation doesn't have any of that. There's no purpose. Meditation is stillness. Meditation is an act of sitting and non-doing and allowing everything to settle until there is no more. Until there is no more thought, no more intention, no more self. That's meditation. So here we are engaging these very valuable practices in order to help us. And each practice helps you to put yourself into a state where you will then be more likely to really succeed in attaining success in meditation itself. Please make sure and visit me at www.expansionmastery.com. Check out the blogs there. You can order your autographed copy of Expansion Mastery. You can pick up your copy of the Appreciation Mastery Program, which helps you with additional practices that contain the ability to master your thought, emotion, word, and action sequence. So I highly recommend that. That's in the 4th disc of the 4-disc set. Those teachings are not contained within the 3-disc set, just to make that clear. So order the appropriate version for you, and make sure that you like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and share this podcast with as many people as you can. Let's get this word out. Let's band together, work together in order to create a year of unity and human harmony, and embrace the power of this consciousness shift. As always, I wish you the very best in your practices and in your life. Take care.